The wood shop is sponsored by Chefware Kits and Easy Wood Tools. Welcome back. This is the long version for the flying saucer. I slowed most of the footage down and I explain what tool I'm using at different points in the video too. Hope you enjoy it. This is the maple slab I started with. I cut a 16-inch and a 10-inch circle out of this piece. Alright, the first disc is about 16 inches in diameter. I'm going to go ahead and true this up, bring around the sides, and put a recess in the center so I can grab it with the chuck from this side. And the lathe speed, I'm going to start it out at about 500. I'm using the round carbide cutter for this. Alright, now I'm just going to make a recess in here to grab it with the chuck. I'm using the square carbide cutter for this. Alright, so I'm just going to bring this around to probably about right in here, and then I'm going to go in. And I'm going to put a tenon down in the center of it to hold the little bottom part. I want that to sit off maybe about half an inch, 3/4 of an inch, and the light will shine out through that ring. I'm going to start the lathe speed out at about 500 again, just to make sure it's true. I had it up to about 1,000 when I was doing the finishing cuts on the other side. I'm making the tenon on the inside. The bottom will mount into this. All right, there we go. My lights are just gonna go in like that. I'll figure out a way to attach it. I might even just hot glue it in, and then my power is gonna come out right here. Pretty much done right there. I'm just gonna sand the whole thing up and then work on the bottom of this thing. I want it to look like it's landing, like it's opening up. All right, now that I have the inside done and I have enough room for the wire, I was a little worried about that with the thickness of the wood. I wanted to find this right center part right here, and I have about, probably 3/4 of an inch there, so I can definitely bring this down quite a bit more and really define that spot. Even if this little void wasn't here, I was still gonna fill this with something, and I'll probably just use like a walnut plug or something. I needed a way to grab a hold of it. All right, I was really hoping that this would raise up a little bit more, but I'm getting really close on the thickness there. So what I'm gonna do is actually turn a disc. I'm gonna turn this one down, and I'm gonna sink it in there about right there, and then so it comes up and raises up a little bit higher. I think that'll look better. So I'm gonna pull this off of there, turn this disc down to coming about right there, and then I'll put this back on there and cut the recess to fit this disc. All right, I kind of tapered it in a little bit in the center so it sits nice and flat. It's still got plenty of surface for the glue to hold all the way around the lip and everything. All right, and then I'm just going to bring the tailstock up and use that a little bit of pressure. I'll leave it set up for about an hour or so and then start turning it again. All right, I let the glue set up for about an hour. I'm going to leave the tailstock up and shape it a little bit, and then I'll pull it away. All right, I finished sanding it. I'm just going to go on and put on a wipe-on polyurethane finish on it. All right, let's go ahead and make the bottom out. I love the way that mahogany changes color in the light. That's cool. All right, I'm just gonna go ahead and bring the tenon down to 2 1/4, have my caliper set here, and then I will finish this up and then turn it around. All right, so the tenon actually needs to be a little over 1 inch long so that when it slides up in there, there's still light shining through right here. So I'm gonna bring this down a little bit more and bring the corner over here. All right, I'm going to clean the face up here. I'm going to dome this one a little bit too, and I need to keep checking the diameter because I want it to fit in there like maybe like a 30-degree angle on both of them so they line up so the light shines through. And I have the lathe speed up about 1200. All right, that's good. I'm just going to go ahead and make one more finishing cut across here and then I'll sand it. All right, there we go. And that cleaned up all the little tear outs. So for whether it's carbide tools or traditional tools, just a nice, slow, even cut, and you'll get a nice finish as long as your tools are sharp. So just don't go fast on that final cut. All right, just finished sanding it. Go ahead and put on the finish now. And again, it's just a wipe-on polyurethane. Ah, gorgeous. All right, I'm going to turn 3 legs for it. I'm going to use mahogany just like I used on the top so it matches. I'm going to put a little ball down here and then just a straight dowel, and then I'll adjust the length and I'll figure out what looks good on it. But I'm going to go ahead and make 3 of those. I'm using the square carbide cutter to true this piece up. All right, I went ahead and marked out for the legs. I'm going to use a Forstner bit. I'm going to do it on the drill press. I'm going to make a little stand to hold it up so they come in at an angle. I want them to have a little bit of an angle to them like that. And when it's all done, it's going to sit like that. I'm going to make one of them, the back one here, a little bit shorter, and then these two, I'm going to make them longer. Putting in the last one here. I'm just going to hot glue this in so that I can pull it out when I do find some LEDs that work good. All right, that's all set up. And yes, you'll notice that I made the tenon too small, so if you don't screw up like me, you don't have to make another little cup for it to fit in. So what I'm gonna do is just put a little spot of glue in there so I can still get it out. And once I find some lights. Look at that. I love the way that light shines out there. I think with some LED lights, I want to get some of the ones that change colors. And if they were wrapped around the tenon that's on this piece, they would shine straight out through there. So there'd be a lot more light. But that's a fun project. If this doesn't make you want to run out and buy a lathe, I don't know what will. All right, Tom. Again, thank you so much. Thanks for the idea. I had really enjoyed making this. I actually, when I was at the plastic store getting the plexiglass for the lathe cart, I picked up some more of the colored rod. I'm going to do another lightsaber, but when I was making the bottom of this, I thought it'd be cool to go in here with a Forstner bit, make a circle around there, and then cut these off so it would shine through. I think the LED lights will really put out a lot more light, and I thought that would be a neat effect. If this is your first time here, I do a new project video every Friday, and they are always free. All right, take care.